So I figured a video might be an easier way to describe what's going on here. So the way we do purchase orders is they have to go through multiple steps in order before they're received. I think some systems just do, create purchase order or receive against purchase order, and it's all the same thing. But the once something has been placed, it'll go into a state where it is likely being, processed and picked and packed and all that stuff on the side of our vendor. We don't care about any of those states at the moment. We could if eventually, maybe open boxes is used by, we place an order through a an origin that is managed within open boxes. I can't think of a scenario where that would happen, but maybe um, maybe a supplier was using open boxes and we could somehow handle that. It's not necessarily information that the supplier probably wants to be known, but I think those events could be pushed, I guess. But essentially what we have is order is pending, placed, and then it becomes shipped, and then it goes through some basically in transit and receiving states that I will describe right now. But once it's placed, it's essentially just waiting for the order confirmation or the shipment notification, something that tells you what shipments are going to arrive and when they're going to arrive, what items are going to be included, and potentially the lot number, expiration dates for all those things. So I'm going to I'll do this one here. View order details. It's pending. I'm going to place the order. One other thing that we're about to add to the placed order feature is to allow you to send an email with the PDF for the order here. Have that attached to an email that gets sent to the supplier that you're ordering from. If you choose, you'll be able to opt in or opt out, or click a button that says actually send this order to a particular email address. But now that it's placed, we're just waiting on some confirmation that the order has been shipped, at which point you can hit the ship order feature. And I believe, let me see, this is 0815. There is another, let's see if it's an edit order. So it is called ship order. Someplace it's called create, it's on the listing page. Yeah, create shipment from PO. So you can use this. This is more if you wanted to create one shipment from multiple POs. You could just select the origin and go walk through and pick a bunch of items from multiple POs. But what we're going to do is just, oops, wrong. We're going to go through the process of just shipping the order. And so this will take you through the stock movement process. It adds the items to the inbound shipment. You can click a recipient, select a recipient. You can enter in, some information about the package levels, like you might have a pallet. You might have 5 pallets or something like that are coming in, and so you might want to distinguish these from one another, and lot number and expiry date. At this point, you could import your data if you needed to. I think this allows you to. Yeah, it allows you to download these too, so you have a template to work from if you're going to enter in the lot number and expiration date. But what I'm going to do is just say we don't really have any information, and we'll say next and say it's coming in on land. And now we have sent the shipment from the shipper, and now we're ready to receive it. So that's essentially the flow. From here, you might have, let's just go all the way to the end here. You might want to receive into a bin location. For now, the system defaults to a default receiving bay. So this is an internal location that's a little bit different from a bin location in that it is based on the shipping number. This is, if it's not configurable, it'll be configurable in the next release, being able to specify whether you just want this to be like a single receiving bay that all stock goes into, or you could also go and pick the bin location that you want to receive it into. But you can use the put away for that as well. So I'm going to receive these. Oops. I need to autofill. You can change the quantities if you want to, if you're receiving multiple shipments. And that is that. I think we're good. So we'll receive that, and all of the stock will now be in this bin location here. So we can go to the stock card and actually see that it's in the bin location. At some point soon, you could do it now. I believe you could make these receiving locations non-pickable. So if you had to go through a process of quarantining or counting or doing something just to make sure that everything came in and is in the condition that you expected it to, maybe it could be sitting here but not pickable. And so you could change the location type for, let's see, receiving here, to not allow for it to be picked. And so you say save that. And so now you can't pick from here using the outbound stock movement picking process, but you could at least put it away. So now I can create a put away, and I always forget to remember the ID for this one. Yeah, I forgot the ID, and it doesn't look like it saved properly. I think that is due to a bug that I am fixing right now. So I'm going to say that, and see if that showed up. Yep. So I'm working on a bug where on receipt, sometimes this refreshes too fast and it doesn't catch the transaction. So now we've got these potential items to be put away. You can select them. You could select all of them if you wanted to. So let's do this too. This will all get created on the same put away order that you could download and print and go and do the put away. But this feature will tell you where the stock is currently located. If there's a preferred bin set in the inventory level for the product, it'll tell you that, and I believe it defaults to the preferred bin if it's there. Otherwise, you can go in and select whichever one you want. So we'll do that, and we'll say save. And that's that. So now I can go back in, and we can see that the item has been put away on pallet A2. So the magic I just ran in order to get that particular thing working was this refresh caches. If you ever see an issue where, let's do 19128, where this value here, oops, that is not the right number, 128. The quantity on hand value here does not match here. You might have a refreshing problem with the table that holds this cached information. It's fairly easy to calculate the quantity on hand for one product, but when you're doing a search like this and you've got 20 products or 100 products that are being displayed or running reports, we needed to make sure that there's a table that caches all of these quantity on hands. So sometimes, and in particular, the bug that I'm running into, the refresh process doesn't catch all of the transactions because it's run immediately after the transaction is persisted to the database. Long story short, that should be fixed. It's actually working in production with a delay, but I'm trying to get rid of the delay right now, and that's why you saw that little bug. And that's it. Hopefully that explains things with just enough information, or maybe too much information. But let me know if you have any other questions.